Hello again. Welcome to the third episode of this Making Some Noise with Bitwig series. I was, of course, listening back to the track. As always, there will be some things I would like to add. I'm still debating if I want to add it now or start raging. I had a question on the last video. What is this thing here, the control room I use? I used to be a Cubase user, and Cubase, among other DAWs, has what's called a control room, and a control room is just like a bus you can use to assign different listen back environments. So, for example, if you have a singer or another instrumentalist, you can control what he or she hears. I used to use it a lot, not because I had a singer, but because you can put all sorts of, for example, metering plugins or plugins that alter the sound, like SonarWorks. The SonarWorks plugin, I forgot the name. For example, I have a few plugins on there. For example, the rolling sampler. This is every sound I play back to that bus will be recorded. Well, not recorded, but it will be in this sampler. So if I start recording now, you see it added some sounds here, and now there's no sound. So it's handy if you want to like resample stuff. That's one thing. The other thing is a dB meter by TB Pro Audio. It's a free plugin. I just use it to like see what RMS or true peaks, whatever I want to see. I see it at a glance. Then I have the adapter metric AB. It's just to AB my track against a mixed or a master track, my own or from other artists. Yeah, I'm not gonna do a walkthrough of the plugin. It's a great plugin. The other thing I have is the Insight Pro by Ozone. Just to see every detail or every parameter I want from the sound I'm playing. So, for example, the stereo field and the LUFS, and of course the spectrum. And last, I have tonal balance control, also by Isotope. And this is just to see the balance between the low, the mid, and the high end. So you see I'm missing a bit of mids, low to high mids. But of course the track isn't mixed, nor does it have all the things I'm going to add, or it's in at its highest peak of intensity. So yeah, that's my control room. If you want to know how to set it up, I can do a video about that, but it's fairly easy. Just quick. You can just set the master as an output to the control room. So you just create a track, send the master to the control room, and the control room you send to the studio. And that's it. Whatever master you export will not have anything that alters the sound that's present in the control room. So it's a easy tool to do that. You don't have to worry about turning off anything that alters the sound on the master. Like, for example, SonarWorks' plugin, or a limiter, or a mastering software. So yeah, that's it. I was listening back to the track, and I think I want to add or try to add one more thing, and that's like something arpeggiating. I think the last thing we created was this like a melodic loop, and it's like an arpeggiator. Which is great. The loop came from an F minor chord, so it will always play notes in that F minor chord. But I want to maybe change the chords later on, so I'm thinking about adding an arpeggiator or an arpeggiated sound. Again, being Bitwig, we have a few options here. The easiest one would be to just select a synth. Let's go with polysynth. We can use the same chords we have already here. That will be that special chord. You all know the name. I can't remember. Doesn't matter. We can make our own sound or search for a sound. So for example, if we look at, for example, a pluck, there's plucks here. What's a Euro pluck? I don't know. Let's see. Sure, let's make some trance. I'm kidding. Or at least at the moment I'm kidding. So to make an arpeggio, you can just put an arpeggiator in front, and then you have an arpeggio. We can change the way the arpeggio plays. I like the blossom up or blossom down. It's one of my favorites. Of course, this is a 3-note chord, so if we, I'm sorry, it's even a 4-note chord. No, it's a 3-note chord. So if we, for example, double the F, the arpeggiator will change. For example. But 3-note chord is always fun with an arpeggiator because it's not like every 16th note is the same. So in a bar there will be a bit of variation. But because this is Bitwig, we can change the way this plays. Bear with me because this may be a bit of hit and miss. So what I'm going to do is we can keep the arpeggiator there, but we can add this polysynth to a group, and we can search for another pluck key. Yeah, we can look like I don't know, days and keys. What's days and keys? Let's solo this. Sure. So now it's this. Of course, if you play it together. Let's go on. Let's take another polysynth or polymer, doesn't really matter. We can always change this. Again, look for a key or a pluck, something short. Guitar, sure. Let's listen to Space Cowboy. Also great. Now if you play everything together it will be a mess. Don't think it's that great. But the thing we're gonna do is we're gonna convert the instrument layer to an instrument selector. And now we can do different sort of things, because if we don't do anything, I think it will all play together, or only one will play. Indeed. But what we can do here in the mode is select like a note round robin, for example, and every note now will play another instrument. I'm not explaining this very good, but you'll see and hear. It needs some work. But we got an arpeggiator that's playing a different instrument every 16 notes, and after the third 16th note it plays from the top again. For example, what we also can do is, because again it's Bitwig, we can put note effects in the instrument itself, if you know what I mean. We have got a rack with 3 instruments, and we can put note effects in every instrument. So for example, here we can put in like a dribble or something. I'm going to first of all put this back to an instrument layer so I can hear it better. And if we play only this one, there's no change, of course. We need the note effects. I think I chose the wrong note effects, I'm sorry. I'm sure I was looking for dribble, but yeah. And now I can't remember the name. Is it Ricochet? Yeah, of course. Now this isn't going to work, of course, what I was thinking. Skip that. I'm going to put in another arpeggiator here. And do the trick. I think we did this last time as well. Put this to 0. Put this to 0. Sorry. What I wanted to do is add a steps mod here, or another modulator. Doesn't really matter. Put this to again 16 notes, but I may change this later on and modulate the velocity as well as the gate length. So now it's not playing every 16th note something. We can of course randomize it a couple of times. Because we have now another arpeggiator, so we have an arpeggiator in front and an arpeggiator for the first synth we have. Maybe it's good to call this synth 1, but I won't bother at the moment. We can now individually per instrument like add another, change the way the arpeggiator works, like for example put an octave in. It's interesting, for example. And I think I'm going to leave it here. It's already great. And still we have 2 more instruments to go through, so. So let's go to the next one. We're gonna try and do the same here. Again to the note effects. The arpeggiator. And we're gonna do something a bit more interesting, I think. We're gonna add, instead of a steps, we're gonna, what's the name? I think my memory is not working. The note. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Maybe we can do that on the next one. I'll show you. Let's put in a random, for example. This is active, okay. And we're gonna do the same here. Modulate the velocity as well as the gate length, and we're gonna put this to note and hold, so it's like a sample and hold. So now every time a note hits, we'll get a random value. I'm gonna put this to plus minus so we get more that nothing is playing. So it will be pretty random. What we can also do is put this like to 8 dotted notes, for example. Again, we can add in like a higher note, higher pitch note. Or like a lower also. What we can also do, it's now 8 steps. We can add like an extra step or put it to 11, 13. Uneven numbers are pretty interesting. So this will also mean that the note that's an octave lower will not always be playing at the same interval, if you know what I mean. Again, not explaining it very good. So yeah, okay, now that's this one. We can do the last one. I have to select it, of course. Put in a note effects. I was thinking about adding like what is it, the note? I really don't know why I can't remember it. Note repeats, that's the one. So we can put in a Euclidean thing. I don't know if this is gonna sound great. Because it keeps, of course, playing the first one. We're not gonna be able to change it, I think. Unless we can put this to free running. Or a bar. No, I think yeah, I wanted to try something new, but again, I said it in the first video, maybe the second as well. You have to experiment, have fun with things, and to see what happens. For example, what we can do again is put the arpeggiator and change stuff in the arpeggiator itself. So now it's this, still the same. We can put this again to 0. Then add in maybe note repeats, yeah. No, of course this won't work. Let's put in the steps again, but we're gonna use more than one step. What I'm gonna do is put this like to triplets, quarter notes maybe. Modulate the velocity and the gate length. So yeah, that's interesting. Maybe add like an octave again. Yeah, let's air everything together. Of course, put it back to the instrument selector and put it around Robin. I think our Days and Keys isn't playing really good. Okay, this I like more. I think we need to work a bit on the individual sounds. So bear with me again. Let's start with the pluck. Has a lot of effects, so I don't know if I like all of them. I'm gonna remove the reverb. Okay, that's a bit better, a bit snappier. Let's have a look at the keys. And of course I was I was playing with the wrong one. Thank God for undo. Okay, we're back. Just have to remove the reverb. So yeah, the Days and Keys. This has a delay on it. I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep it, but let's see what we can change to the sound itself. Let's see how it sounds with everything in a while and in a bit. Let's do the last one. so this has an effects chain as well. I'm gonna again remove the reverb. Yeah, because I'm thinking about adding in a reverb at the end of everything. So let's see what we got now. If we turn this back to selector, round robin. I think I'm gonna put this again to plus minus so we have fewer notes. Also give this a bit of release. Okay, I think we're like halfway there. So like I said, we can now put like FX after the everything, so like a delay, for example. Sure, and now we can add like to the feedback of the delay some other effects like a flanger. So this is with it, this is without. With. Maybe add like a bit of distortion. Not that much. Let's hear it with everything. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna call it, meaning I think it's time to arrange. Or start arranging, because this will take a while. Also in Bitwig there's a lot of different ways of arranging. I'm very I'm gonna say conservative or traditional in the way of arranging. I just like to make the puzzle with the arrangement view. How do you call this? This is the arrangement view, the arrangement timeline. And I'm gonna change some things before. For example, we have here a clip with one note because it plays every measure. So I'm gonna change this. We're gonna add it here. It's not snapping, so I'm gonna delete it. I'm gonna delete it. Put it here. Then I'm gonna change it here. Keep the clip. We can remove this one, and so it plays here. That's this one. if you put your cursor here, you can duplicate easy. So now we have this. The bass was just a long note, I think, yes. Playing in C, that's okay. Activate the timeline, we can remove this clip. I'm gonna make it longer. And that C3 I think was playing. This needs some work, the bass, but let's keep going. Perk loop is probably a long note, yes. What I always like to do is make the note very long, so we can just put content scaling and scale it 200%, for example. Do that a couple of times, and I really need to add like a shortcut because I use this a lot. Here we go, and activate the timeline. We can remove this clip. I think the conga loop is the same, it's C3, so we can just copy this one. It will work, don't worry. So until now we got this. The 16th hats is another thing, so we can just add it here. Again, duplicate easily like this. And we can remove this one. The open hat, I'm gonna elongate the clip to here. And duplicate a couple of times. Okay, perfect. Move it to here. Duplicate. And we can remove this one, and the timeline should be playing. Then we have a hi-hat loop, it's probably C3, so we can take this one and put it here. We can remove this one, activate the timeline. This should also be activated. The incidental is easy. Just put it over here, repeat it, duplicate it. Like this, remove this clip. The melodic loop, it's also a C, so again we can take a long C we already have, activate the timeline, and that should be everything. So now we can close this, the clip player. Clip launcher, because we're gonna work exclusively in the timeline. Okay, so now we can start puzzling. It's always a puzzle. It's not something that's, but it is easy because what we can do is just select everything. If you like select the first one and hold shift and select the bottom one, it will select everything. And if we hold control, duplicate, at least on Windows, we can duplicate it easily. Also on Bitwig I have like the timeline showing in measures as well as minutes, seconds. That's easy to activate. You can just activate it here, like show real-time ruler. This way we can also add some cue markers to say this is the start of the song maybe, or you can call it intro, whatever. I like to start my songs at the 17th measure. The reason being is just I like to have like a little lead in, so we can remove this. And the lead in we can make in different ways. For example, if we have the drone here, and I go to my control room and rolling sampler, I just played this, so I'm gonna take this one and just drag it to my timeline. Let me zoom in a bit. I'm gonna reverse the clip. Let's see, not everything is, I mean, nothing is on the grid. So I'll have to start over. To select everything, you can also just, not here, I have to get the cross, delete, select everything, duplicate a couple of times. So now we get like sort of lead in. If we turn it all on, and turn off looping. So again, we should add some fades. That wasn't the idea. Let's like what I want to do is like not start with the kick, the bass line. Also not gonna start with it. I may start with the perk or the conga loop. The hats, not so much. The hi-hat loop, maybe. This, it's called a melodic loop, but we're gonna have to change the name to something more logical. The drone, I want to start the drone. Let's see what we have now. No, I think I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna remove everything here, and we're gonna start with the kick. The drone as well. And at least the 16th hats. So it sounds like this. I'm also gonna change this name to like lead in drone or something. Names are not important, they have to like be logical to you. That's the only thing that matters. I'll have to change the name of the clips as well. So we start off like this. On the grid, I'm gonna put it on the grid, but like a bit over the grid, so like this. That's okay. I'm gonna cut this here, remove this piece, see if the fade in is still there. No, we have to add it again. And also on this channel, I'm gonna add a reverb. This can be just the reverb of Bitwig, or even better, maybe better. I'm gonna add a convolution, and the first that appears, St. Peter's Cathedral. That's perfect. Works with a lot of stuff. So this way, the drone or this lead-in won't stop immediately. It's like a seamless transition. So yeah. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna move for a bit quicker here. I think we're gonna introduce the open hi-hat fairly quickly. But bass up until no bass won't introduce. Maybe the conga loop or the perk loop. I think the conga loop. This nope. The incidentals maybe. Yeah. Let's see what we got. So again from the start, we'll play until bar 49. I was just thinking about naming this one. For me, it's like a voice ARP, or as long as it's logical to me, it's okay. It was great. We just need like a lead into the hi-hat loop. What we can do again is what I love to do is like bounce this clip. It's the easiest thing. Post fader, of course. 32-bit is a bit exaggerated, and it wasn't on, so we won't have anything again. It's better. I'm gonna open this clip. Okay, I'm gonna search for the loudest one, but it's this one, of course. So let's cut it here and here. Let's remove these two things. Move it to the front. Let's zoom in a bit. I think we can still move this a bit, like here. That's great. What we're gonna do is add a bit of effects to it, maybe a convolution again, but a bit bigger. We can have like a real all, this one for example. Let's solo this one and play it. Sure. I think I'm gonna tune this a bit. So it's a bit brighter. Let's see if we can add a bit of gain. Okay, that's better. Let's also add reverb. It's a bit longer, so pre-delay maybe 0. Sure. And what we're gonna do now is bounce this one again. clip, and we're gonna reverse this one and put it here. Now we can remove this clip, put this to like riser or hi-hat riser maybe. Also green. Let's see what we have. I'm gonna, of course, add some reverb to this one as well. Again, the convolution with the default setting is great. Great. I think I'm gonna do the same with the hi-hat loop. So I'm gonna bounce this one, open it up. These are all the same, so I think I'm gonna like cut it here and here. This one and this one we can remove. Move this one to the front, so we get just this, which is great. Of course, we're gonna add some FX, maybe a simple delay. Like it repeats the 3/16 notes. We can also choose time, but I think it's great. We're gonna just delay it a bit. Okay, let's add some reverb. We can always choose like a preset. Bright and big hall, sure. Yeah, okay. Turn up the mix a bit. I think the pre-delay isn't necessary. Okay, I'm gonna add like maybe a pitch shifter to the feedback. Let's play with the grains a bit. What we can also do is I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna add like a random. Put this in the middle. I don't know which is it 0. What's the middle? 10. Okay, 10. I'm gonna modulate this one. I'm gonna do this on again like a per note thing. So every time it plays, it will be a different modulator value. It doesn't work with audio. Okay, no problem. So free. And we're gonna do hertz. No, I'm gonna do a bar. So for example, and what I'm gonna do now is like bounce this one. Post fader, it's okay. Then I'm gonna, again, the clip, I'm gonna reverse it. And I'm gonna put it over here. Then I'm gonna bounce it again. And it will change, of course, because we already have the first version, and the random modulator is giving us a grain size different grain size every time. So again, gonna reverse this one, put it on the same clip, track, I mean. Bounce it again. Another shortcut I should make. Put it over here, reverse it. We can remove these two tracks and then bounce it once again. I think I'm gonna bounce it just another time again. Last time, sorry. Okay, then I'm gonna remove this track. Put this here. Put this here. Reverse these two clips. We can remove this track and this track. And I'm gonna call this reverse like hi-hats. It's with effects, but that doesn't matter. And I'm gonna put again a convolution. If I can type, that would be great. So now we have a little bit more interesting or things going on that changes. And like we can not keep the same. We don't have to go from this one to this one to this one to this one to this one. What we can do is move the next time we play this, we get this one, and so on. But let's see what we got. It's going. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna add this perk loop or start this perk loop here. What I should do is do this. So let's see when this comes in. yeah, what you heard there is I'm looking for ways to add modulation to the bass, to this sound. And what you heard is a great modulation, and one I'm gonna use, of course. Um, Again, we're nearing the 1 hour mark, and I would like to keep these videos under the hour. I know I'm not the quickest worker, but I like to. Well, I like to do things good. I mean, have some quality uh, of music, but that's of course in the everyone's what's the word I'm looking for? It's not for me to say what quality in music. It's just the music I like to make. And I also bounce from one thing to another. I mean, if I hear something here, I want to change it or add it immediately. And now I'm thinking, because we have maybe like a little break here and like a drop. Let's call this little drop or something. Again, if I can type. What we can also do is bass enters or something else. Let's call this little drop. So the kick falls away. We can't hear the bass because it's not playing. So yeah, the last thing I want to do is like, let's see if we can. Well, not see if we can. We're gonna do this. We're gonna add some macros to the bass that we can influence. The easiest thing to do this is add like a modulator to the track thingamajiggy. We're gonna add a macro. And I want to hear the maximum this macro can do, so we're gonna put this all the way to the top. I'm also gonna like loop this part, maybe solo it as well, and then see what we can do to the bass to make it like the most intensity. First I'm gonna choose my lowest point. Okay, and then I'm gonna add modulation to the sources I want to change. So now I have a button here where I can go from lowest intensity to highest. highest one is of course something that won't play a lot. And now I'm gonna add automation. I'm gonna change the name here to like open up or something. There we go, it should be at the lowest, going to the highest here, or maybe like 80% is also good, and then it should drop back to 0. If you hold Alt on Windows, you can bend the line. I'm gonna bend it quite a bit. So let's see what we have now, and then we're gonna call it a day. So yeah, I think I'm gonna call it a day here. We made some progress. Added ARP I'm pretty happy with. And we started arranging. And we're like 2 minutes and a half into the arrangement already. It needs a lot of work, as every track that's been ever made needs a lot of work, and some tracks still need a lot of work, although they have been released, including mine. But yeah, okay, so hope you enjoyed it, hope you learned something. As always, leave a comment if you have questions or remarks, something I did wrong, maybe could do better. I'm always open to criticism, only if it's positive, of course. Negative criticism is okay, but it should be brought in a positive way, because if not, it's just not useful. Again, leave a like and subscribe maybe. Until next week, bye bye.